Where you get the hat from? Nah, it was
From
fresh off the merch table
J. Cole printed and handed it over to me.
in the in front of the House of Blues. Like that's crazy.
It's actually at San Antonio Stadium, which is trash.
Oh, it's not good.
It's so bad.
Uh,
So one
I
thing I
didn't know you. I
realized,
never knew you went and saw Dreamville. When was this?
this was recently. This was a few months ago. This is while Aaron was
You
pregnant.
don't tell me shit.
We have the
We're
worst
supposed to
friends
be
ever.
best friends, and you don't tell me shit.
I was probably texting you while I was there, ironically.
And then just saying nothing about music. We probably having a basketball conversation, and
I'm pretty sure I talked to you. We talked. It was a Drake and J. Cole concert.
oh, that is true. That is true. That is true. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I didn't know
So
that. I wouldn't imagine. I guess that makes sense. I thought you went and saw Dreamville,
no.
like
I just went.
Jid and them.
No. Just J. Cole. I would love
Okay.
to, but
All right.
just J. Cole.
I do know. I okay. I feel better now. We were about to break up. We're about to break the pot up.
You went where with who?
Like, oh, hold on. Oh, that's crazy. You want to? Okay. So speaking. Oh, you were saying something. What were you saying about the San Antonio Stadium?
Oh no. So one thing I realized that most Texas stadiums, with the exception of Dallas, are absolutely trash.
Oh yeah, NRG is not very good.
Like NRG isn't good, Toyota Center isn't good. I didn't
Mm-mm.
realize this because I'd only been to Houston games. As I started exploring all the places, I was like, wait a minute. Houston is ass.
Like,
Like there's a list out of the worst arenas in the world. Houston's second to last. San Antonio is last.
for real.
Yeah, I was like, all right, that's the
Damn.
only ones I've been to. So I'm on a mission now that as I travel, I gotta start going to other stadiums. Just because I apparently have not had the ability to have any luxury in my life, and that's unacceptable. You know me, that's unacceptable.
It
What are
feels
we doing
like
here?
as Texas, especially Houston, gets the worst of everything. Like we
Yeah,
got the worst ocean closest to us.
that's crazy. I was no, I'm out here in Austin talking to people. I'm just like, yeah, man, it's nice to be like, next to some bodies of water so I can go do some stuff outside. It's like, weren't you next to the beach? I was like, well, beach is
Beach,
beach is
beach.
flexible. If you ever
Like
been there before,
if
it's a sand in a sewer. That's pretty much it. Like
if you
that's
like chocolate milk water, that's what's the Gulf of Mexico.
do you like getting out of the water and questioning what disease you have now?
Like you
That's
gotta
that's what you're playing with there.
if you got an open cut, no, you can't.
Yeah,
You're not going in there.
your legs coming off, big dog.
I gotta I gotta tell you this story, and it's so funny. I think you'd be very happy because it's about Haley, right?
Okay.
So she goes
Twin.
for those listening, and as my wife, she goes, we're literally chilling. Like I'm sitting here, she's sitting over there. We're just not. You know when you girls just exist in your life and they're just on their phone while you're doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
and then she goes out of nowhere. She goes, "Can I ask you something?" I go, "What's
Oh
up?"
no.
She goes, "I don't know if this is a hot take, but she goes, do you think it's corny when people post like death anniversaries of loved ones on social media?" I was like, God damn. Like out of nowhere. She's just like, do you think it's kind of corny when people celebrate loved ones or like honor a loved one's death? And I'm like, hey, yo.
I just know she was on her phone and somebody saying, celebrate my cousin that died 2 years ago.
R.I.P.
She's like, fuck out of here.
grandma.
She's like, fuck out of here.
She's like, hey, yo.
Get that
I,
shit on my feed.
I was like, man, like, I was like, that when like we love a good hate, right? We
Yeah,
love a
no.
good hating moment. That one was over the top.
Overly powered hate. I fuck with it though.
Like I hate on some wild shit, but I was like, nah, get your shit off, I guess.
She's hitting dislike on every post of people dying.
Thumbs downing a death post is crazy. That's diabolical.
Bring him back. Nah.
Hey, see you soon. That's crazy.
I can expedite him.
Speaking of getting your shit off, um, I'm have you been following this whole sketch
Oh
situation?
yeah. So I had no idea who Sketch was until this moment happened.
And that's okay, so it's not even that bad for you
No,
because
no.
he's hilarious.
I've heard of him though. That's the thing. I didn't so when I had heard like the sounds from him on TikTok and whatnot. So when I heard, I was like, who the hell is this sketch person that's trending? I saw him, and then they started showing videos from him of, his content, whatever. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, it sounds familiar. I don't really know you, but it sounds
yeah.
familiar.
Uh,
Then I got into other visuals that I didn't ask for.
Yo, okay, so I was been a big sketch fan for about a year and a half now.
Hmm.
Um, just absolutely funny. He's from Houston, so
Yeah.
we got that going. And I mean, he plays Madden, and he just is just hilarious. Really funny kid. And then you should warn me about how Twitter works because I didn't know. All
Oh no,
right.
you gonna see some dick and some ass.
There's not even a warning.
You don't get to ask. If you're
Like
on Twitter, you're also on a porn site. That's just kind of how
they're
that works.
like, yo,
As sports
Sketch
goes.
got caught, doing some shit. And I was like, yo, what? And so all I do is open Twitter and I type in sketch.
Yep.
That's it.
No censor, no nothing.
The shit I saw. And I don't know how Twitter works. I've never had a Twitter. I've never been on Twitter like that. I just I
If you've
wasn't
been on,
getting I wasn't getting
yeah,
any information anywhere else. So I
correct.
just go sketch Twitter, and I cannot unsee what I saw from that man.
If you are a Twitter veteran like myself, you become desensitized to just like, oh, okay, where's the sports? Man, how did Chris Paul do last night? Oh, titties. Okay.
That's
Anyways.
a straight up vagina. Like there's no way around
You
that.
just scroll past it. It's not even exciting anymore. It's just like, oh, whatever. Get out of my face. Back to these stats.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's how Twitter works. Twitter recently said they're gonna start allowing porn. I said, sir, what have you been doing the past 10 years? I don't know.
start allowing porn. It's
What
gonna
is
get
going
worse
on?
than this.
I
Oh,
don't
that's
ask for any
crazy.
of this stuff. I don't use Twitter in public.
Shout out
Uh,
Sketch. Shout out Sketch though. He did
yeah,
it. He
no.
admitted to it and did an apology. I don't really know what he's apologizing for. Like, are you
Yeah, man.
apologizing for being gay
You can be
or
gay, my guy. It's
like
okay.
it's
Like,
not like a I'm sorry thing.
yeah,
Um,
no, I watched one of his apologies. It was funny even in the apology.
he goes, elephant in the room. I got a haircut. Like,
No,
dude,
he might have gained a fan out of me just the way he handled that. He was what is it? He was like, I did not have relations with that man. Yes, I did.
he's like, yeah, actually, yes, I did. Then he goes, yes, I did. And I think he says possibly, but when I heard it originally, I thought he said lots of them.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like, that's crazy. But
Sketch is wild.
I hope he's apologizing for the way it came out, and I hope he's not apologizing for being gay because that's not something to
I mean,
apologize for. Do what you do. Like I don't want it to be like, yo, I was gay and I'm sorry for it. I've changed. I don't like men's no more. I hope it's not like that situation.
like, bro, you can be gay. It's
Like it's
cool.
all good. And
I mean, I could,
from what I saw, you was gay. Like you was
yeah, I can understand from a fan's perspective, like apologizing from the fan perspective. Like, I could have just told y'all I was gay. It didn't have to come out like that. That was kind of crazy.
the vulgarity in which it came out,
Yeah, it's
and
like, oh,
that is the tough part. But
I can understand that
now we
because that was crazy.
let's intro the pod. Now we talked about hating on death anniversaries. We talked about being
Hey,
gay.
you're sponsored right here.
Yeah, this is a marketable podcast. Welcome to episode 9 of the Bench Player Podcast. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast app, the Bench Player Podcast. We in there. Starting off with music,
Mm.
I feel like we got to address the elephant in the room. Got a haircut. No, I feel like the elephant in the room. We got to talk about the Not Like Us video. I feel like it
Jeez.
dropped maybe a day or two after the last pod.
Correct. Yeah, it
So we've
dropped
had a
last
lot of
Thursday.
time. It's not like breaking news or anything. We've had a lot of time to sort of sit and digest with it. Um, do you have any new feelings, any new thoughts on the Kendrick Drake beef or any like do you have anything else to add after the video plus your
I
thoughts on the
mean,
video?
my new thought is that's why I'm wearing this hat. Jake, I'm a J. Cole stan now. You know, sometimes
J.
you
Cole
gotta see.
looking smarter and smarter.
Let me tell you something. Whenever the crazy big guy comes to talk to us, and I say, you know what, I don't need to deal with this, and I watch my friend get pummeled into the ground, I'm like, you know what, I feel for you, but I feel good about myself.
When the big scary dude is trying to fight your man's, and your man's is like, yo, I'm about to fight this dude, and you're like, I don't think you should, and
Yeah,
he's like,
no,
I'm gonna do it anyway, and what happens, you're like,
yeah, like get up, dog, get
like,
up.
nah, man, it's
It's tough out here, man.
art.
But
What you got?
before we get too crazy, I just want to talk about the first 20 seconds of that video. I've been replaying that in my car several times. That snippet is insane.
Unbelievable.
That boy's good.
Like, don't want to glaze too hard, but that shit was crazy.
That boy good. Now, if you're new to being a Kendrick fan, be prepared to never hear this ever again in your life. I just want y'all to be ready for that. Accept it and move on. It's okay. There's so many snippets that I thought were the greatest songs ever that I'd never heard ever again.
Yep.
So, if you're new to this, welcome. This is how this goes. But hopefully he releases it because it was crazy. I think obviously he's gonna have something coming. I think there's no secret to that at this point. You don't start off your biggest song ever essentially with a snippet to a new song unless you plan on doing something going forward. I don't think we're getting a silent Kendrick for the rest of the year if you're doing something like that.
Yeah. Never never thought that we would receive the snippet the way we did.
Mm-hmm.
Putting it in the beginning of the highly anticipated music video, that shows you that Kendrick knows, like, he understands what he's doing here.
100%. This is so
I'm
strategic.
instead of just leaking a snippet or putting it on, Instagram or whatever, this music video, I mean, the highest anticipated video in a long time, to
At
put
least
it lightly.
at least a decade.
To put it
Let's
lightly.
yeah.
And this is the whole reason why we anticipated the video, was for some extra beef, like some new shit. And we thought it would come
Mhm.
in visual form, but we got some audio with it. Um,
And don't know if that's a diss, but
that was gonna be my next question. That was gonna be my question to you. Do you think this is a snippet of another Drake diss, or just a snippet of a new song?
I think it's a snippet of a new song. I think that being a longtime Kendrick fan, he kind of moves in phases when it comes to his albums. I think any super creative person, it's like method acting, right? I think any creative person, when they're creating that album that's going to be a strict concept, they almost put themselves in that world for X amount of time. We've seen Kendrick do this in the past. Kanye's big about doing stuff like that. I think we're getting a vibe of a new album that's coming. And I think that intro was what kind of solidified that no, this is what I'm on right now. You can see it the way he's dressing, the way he's moving, the way he's acting. Like, this is my new phase that I'm moving into. And it lets me know a little bit when he starts off the song by saying I'm reincarnated. I think something crazy is about to happen. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well,
But I
if
think it's a
I'm
moving on.
yeah, oh, well, fair enough. And I think the at the end of, I don't know which Drake diss, but he says, Kendrick, you're dead. And then he
Yeah, that
starts
was
the
Family
yeah,
Matters.
then he
Yeah.
starts this off by saying reincarnated.
Hmm.
There's a connection there, right? Have
Yeah.
you been following all, like, the conspiracy, like all the symbolism,
I am a
uh
tinfoil hat man to the fullest.
like
I've been following everything.
the verses, the verse and the camera angle in front of the shipping containers is
Yeah.
trafficking, is a symbolism of trafficking.
They broke it
Mustard.
down even to the knock at the beginning of the music
Yeah, the
video.
knock is like a old, like slave thing back in the day.
Everything goes back to slavery. Let's be honest here. So I don't know if I'm putting too much stock into it, but maybe at this point. But I don't, I try not to super deep dive because I feel like as consumers through this whole beef process, we have taken it way too far.
Oh yeah.
like
Absolutely.
like we've gone too far, so I'm trying not to dig too deep, pause, into the situation, because it's gotten kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's the fucked up thing is people come up with these outlandish angles and then they're convinced that they are right. That's the
Correct.
scary part. Cause like me and you, we say some shit, we go, I'm probably wrong, but it'd be funny if it was this. But
I'm here
everyone's
for
just
humor,
like,
not for truth.
yeah, everyone else is like, no, this is exactly what it. I'm just like, fam, relax.
We don't know.
Like,
These guys could
calm
have
down.
not anything planned, and we're just figuring out for them.
Yeah, people don't understand.
Kendrick's just at the house, like, sure, that meant that. Okay.
Right, right. No, I mean the director Jordan Peele does a lot of shit like that where like people send him like their own theories and
Mhm.
from his movies that are full of symbolism and he's just like not even close, but that's cool how you got there though. And I think it's a lot of that. Shit can be ironic, you know? Shit can be
Yeah.
like, people were even going as far as saying like, "Oh, all the dancers in the video had white painted on their face." And like Drake has done basically blackface and it's just like or
Okay.
maybe they just had white paint. I don't know.
Let's calm down. There's a clown in the music video. What do you want from me?
Clowns have white faces almost all the time. Like
Like,
99% of the time.
this doesn't mean anything. Calm
Yeah.
down. It's okay.
Uh
No, it's just the symbolism has gone a little far for me. Uh, they had the people breaking it down all over YouTube. I think some of it's legitimate. Don't get me wrong, but I think we've gone too far.
Yeah, like I think the uh the owl at the end, like OVO owl in a cage. That was intentional. But
Yeah,
the
that means something.
the the paint of the clowns' faces, I think just clowns have white faces. Show me different, you know?
What else? What else they say? They say Whitney was wearing a wife beater.
Oh
They're trolling
yeah.
Drake. I was like, I think that's just how she's dressing today, but that wasn't even really a white beater either. It's a tank top.
It's a tank top.
I
Like it's a
guess.
wife beater, you got to see the lines going
Yeah,
down. You
no,
couldn't even see it that close.
yeah, no, it's let's calm down. It's okay. It's there's intentional symbolism for sure. We know that, right? But let's calm down. It's okay.
Right.
We don't need to dive too deep into the Kendrick side. You don't have to dive too deep in the Drake side. We can stay neutral and not lose our brain. That's okay.
Speaking of diving too deep on the Drake side, I think it's absolutely hilarious that people are starting to say, "Hey man, do you think Kendrick's just really milking this record a little too much?" Fam, I know we're in the streaming era. I know we're in a time where music has a short shelf life,
Hmm.
but this is a hit record. Do y'all remember what hit records do? Like for example, DaBaby, Suge. That song was everywhere for like a year and a half.
It's been 2 months.
Like it's been too like this. Y'all have not seen a hit record in a long time. Like this is just a hit record, and hit records you're gonna hear it everywhere. You're gonna see it on social media. You're gonna hear. I don't listen to the radio. I don't know if it's on the radio, but I assume it might be.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely radio.
and it's like you're gonna see music videos. You're gonna see concerts. You're gonna see nominations, and you're that's just what this is a hit song. Like it's not Kendrick saying, "Hey, we have to push this because I want to find a level of success that I couldn't find prior to this record." No, this shit blew the fuck up and we're going to make as much money as we can off of it because that's what you do with the hit song. Like I do think we're so like washed by the internet that we forget how the music business works.
Yeah, it's like I just created a few $1 million business almost unintentionally. I'm gonna get my millions out of it. That just makes sense. That's
You want me to have the number one song in the world, put it out, and then disappear and not capitalize off of it? Like I understand Kendrick is one at the top of whatever rap list that you have, and I understand he doesn't necessarily need the profit, but if I have an opportunity to not only make myself look fantastic in a beef and in a battle, but I can also push this like you would any hit record. I'm gonna do it.
Absolutely. And you should do it. That just makes sense.
I think we
Um,
we just forget how this process goes. If a record blows up, you get a video. You tour off like people tour off of one song. Like Trinidad James did an all gold everything tour off of one song. Like that's
yeah.
it happens.
I've,
Kendrick's
I've
not
heard
even
people
doing all that.
I've heard people say, well, Drake didn't do this with back to back. Back to back was not nowhere close to as big of a hit as this is.
It was
It's not,
big, but it's not this.
it's nowhere close. It's not close at all. Back to back didn't I don't think back to back was able to make um, anybody who didn't necessarily care about hip hop. You had the casual hip hop fans, don't get me wrong. But if I don't care about hip hop, I'm not paying attention to this. Not like us transcended that. I don't know how, because it's very raw content, but it worked. So it is what it is.
I got people in my circle who aren't even hip hop fans that are saying certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of
Like that's the thing.
it's kind of bizarre the content. How big this song blew up. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Kendrick knew this was going to happen. I think Kendrick knew he had a slap on his hands, but given the content, I don't think he would have thought this song would have got this big.
And also I think people still listen to this record and not even fully understand what it all means.
No, absolutely not.
Because people are not really, I would say majority of people aren't really content heavy
Yeah,
supporters. Like they're just
they
like,
just
give me a
hear,
bop, give me a bop.
give me a bop and give me some cool stuff to sing along to,
I
even
feel
if it's
like
pedophile.
shit. I feel like even in a way, we've been missing the there's obviously there's like YG, there's Tyga, there's people who have been still keeping the West Coast sound alive. And what I mean by West Coast sound, I mean the higher BPM, the
Mhm.
subject matter. And I think the game has been kind of missing the big dog making a record like this.
Yeah, I mean I mean we talked about it. The West Coast is kind of Kendrick's kind of been their own lone pusher on the top level. YG had his moment in like 2014, 2015, but he's come down pretty significantly since then. Same thing with Tyga. I think this song reminds us about how unique that West Coast sound is, that you just can't really imitate it.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. And obviously, with guys like Nipsey being gone, RIP, I think Kendrick sort of taking a step away from his super introspective rap that we know him to do all the time,
Mhm.
and straight up like, hey, let's take it back to the West Coast and let's do some bops like this that have that bounce to it. And we're talking about the fan base, the music listeners that aren't well versed in hip hop. They ain't really heard some shit like this in a long time.
Yeah,
Of
no,
course,
that
we know
look,
this. Like we know guys. Like we know
yeah.
Mozzie. We
Hmm.
know we knew Nip. I mean, we know these guys, but you know, seeing
This
Kendrick, they're like, oh my gosh, what is this sound? Even though it's a sound that's been around for fucking ever, they're like, what is this? And so I think it's a good idea to just give us an album of
No, I think it's
this
the perfect
sound.
timing. The West Coast this is how you get the West Coast to thrive off of such a huge moment. I'm gonna give you a sound that's fully West Coast, and now you're gonna go and start looking into West Coast artists and start giving them some spins. And I think that's how you capitalize that situation.
Yeah, no,
So
I
let me
absolutely agree.
let me ask you this. Not like us reference track. Is it real? Is it real?
That would be. I would love to. I'll say this. I would love to hear it, and I would want to know who did the reference track.
So Absol went on a rant on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of this came from.
Okay.
Absol has been, for lack of better words, getting his shit off on a level that's obviously supporting Kendrick, right?
Hmm.
Basically saying that the biggest thing that he said was, if Drake is the MC, I imagine he could be Redemption is not off the table, which is not a diss.
I like. No. That if anything, that's bigging up Drake.
Yeah, no, I think he's saying that, but he's also saying that, hey, none of these dudes could ever mess with us, which welcome to rapper world. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's how they should think.
Absolutely.
But he's also saying like, hey, no, it's. But there's some people coming in saying, oh, well, clearly they don't care about Drake being a pedophile. That's not what this was about. I get it, y'all don't know what rap battles are. It's fine. We moved on.
Yep.
Uh, but it's just Absol's talking a little shit, but also let him know, hey, no, Drake's still that guy. I think we all know that. Any hip hop fan, I'm not saying casual hip hop fans, but any hip hop fan, you didn't lose any love for Drake. However, did legacy get tainted a little bit? Sure, it happens. That's the risk you take of going to war. But I, if a kid Drake album drops tomorrow, I'm gonna be at 11:59 hitting play. Just want to be clear.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, people are just completely lost in the fact that you can say Drake lost and still be a fan.
Yeah.
Like I always say, like people do corny shit and you like them, you make fun of them a little bit, and you move on.
Hmm.
Like it's no easy feat to go to war with Kendrick Lamar, you know?
Well,
Like
I think we kind of knew that as Kendrick fans.
we
However, I
didn't know
think
how deep it could get.
yeah, we didn't. I didn't. I'm telling you, I no longer am mad at J Cole. Like I just
The Dreamville hat is on for a reason.
yeah, no, I feel you, bro. I told myself I was like, I'm not wearing this hat after that Not Like Us video. I was like, you know what? My boy said I play with something safe.
No, no, absolutely. I think it's and so have you caught wind of the Drake allegedly having a Man in the Mirror sample on a diss record that's coming?
That'd be crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So I saw this morning. Drake posted two pictures next to mirrors and like his reflection. One was like a glass table and his reflection. One, he's literally in front of a mirror. And someone saw whoever liked the post or Drake liked the post, something like that. The one of the writers on Man in the Mirror liked the post. And
That's
then
embarrassing.
Absol went on a Twitter rant and said something about you got to look at the man in the mirror or look at yourself in the mirror. And people are like, oh my God, Drake's got a Man in the Mirror sample flip coming and a diss record coming. I'm like,
That sounds crazy. I don't. I'm trying to picture how that's gonna sound.
ooh, yeah. I'm like, how do you even sample that?
I don't know if you can come very aggressive. I don't know. Let's. Hey, they're in their spot because they can figure it out. So hopefully, I'm down for it. I just I think you're beating a dead horse at this point. It's over with.
You know,
But I
yeah, I
guess
mean,
I don't want to say that because beefs in the past have lasted months and months and months, and we said whatever. Same thing we talk about with a hit single. I can't. I guess I can't say that on in that same breath.
yeah, like for one, it would be fun for the good rapping to continue.
Yeah.
And if Drake does come with some type of new diss record, he's had all this time to sort of sit, reflect, and kind of build up ammunition, and then gives Kendrick an excuse to also put out more music, which is what
Yeah.
I've always been here for. It's the whole reason I showed up. It's the whole reason I
More
show up.
music. More
I
music.
just want Kendrick to be active, and I want Drake to rap. That has been my whole spiel for the
And
longest.
it's gone down.
And I couldn't ask for more. But I'll say this from Drake: after the show, after the music video, I don't think Drake can get it done with one record. And
No.
I don't think it can be a record. And there needs to be some type of visual. There needs to be some type of physical that goes with it.
See, that sounds great, but he did that with Family Matters, and it didn't matter after 5 minutes.
It's got to be
That's
something
that's the part.
extracurricular at this point.
And don't be wrong, I think Family Matters is better than Meet the Grams, but it just I think he just took such a moment away from him. That's what kind of turned the beef very quickly.
Do you think Kendrick has more records?
Absolutely. I think you don't brag on your big record saying, "Hey, I got 5 plus 5 in stock." Don't keep playing with me if you don't have it. I don't think that's something that you do. I think he's letting you know I can do this all day.
No, I get it. Um,
It's crazy.
any closing thoughts on the video
I'm gonna give you some.
Besides DeMar DeRozan? DeMar DeRozan looked about 6'9", 207. Like that boy looked like they
Hmm.
made DeMar DeRozan look like Debo, like literally Debo.
And it's kind of funny how they said, I'm glad DeRozan came home and he signed at Sacramento.
Hey,
Hold on.
we were right though. We're like he's coming to Cali, but
We said LA, let's be clear.
yeah, I'm
But
not even
hey,
sure where Sacramento is on the on
it's somewhere over there.
the it's
It's in
in
Cali.
California.
I
But we said he's coming back home, but I don't know.
don't know if
Um,
Sacramento counts.
let's get off Kendrick and let's get to something a lot more serious, a lot more, something that really needs our attention. Takashi 6 9 had his
That's not
cars
where
repossessed.
that's not where I thought this was going.
um 6 9 got his so, and the thing is his car, I don't know if you've seen his cars, but they're all types of colors. Like the design of the car
You
is
know it's
like
his car.
paint splattered on it.
Yeah.
Like that's the design. And them shit showed up on the government auction website, and they're his. Ain't no way around it. Um, man, talk about a fall from grace, huh?
Yeah, it happens. It's okay. I mean,
We talked about it with Ice Spice. Like that's just how it goes.
he should be grateful he's not dead. That's all I gotta say.
Like he's
That's kind of
here, he's
yeah,
breathing.
no, you're alive and breathing, brother. I think that's a win in your case. You got to see successful like not many others get to see. Chalk it up. I mean, he's done so much damage to his reputation. That's where it gets a little scary. Like, what the heck do you do now? But we'll see.
So let's play a game. What's the last thing you heard about Takashi 6 9?
Him going to jail.
Damn.
I just I'm
Nothing
not
after that.
I'm not in tune on my Takashi 69 news.
I, I
Well, no,
think
when he came out, he did the music video with Nicki Minaj, which was kind of disappointing, given the situation, but especially for Nicki to do to some New York street dudes, but whatever, not my business. Um, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean,
I think I heard that I think I heard that he put out a Spanish album. I think that was the last thing I heard, and that might have been 2 years ago.
I don't know how that went. I don't speak Spanish, so I can't tell you where that fell, but
Dude,
uh,
Blicky got the stiffy in Spanish is crazy.
that's almost crazy as is. Let's be clear. I
What
think
is
he
the
started.
Spanish word? What is the Spanish enunciation of stiffy
I don't even want to try
or
it 'cause
Blicky?
it's gonna sound racist if I try to say it.
It's gonna sound racist.
Ah.
All right, we can get off to conscious. That's I didn't think we'd have a big deep dive on that one. Um, this came out early this morning, late last night. Um, some leaked text from Rich the Kid between him and Kanye West saying Kanye West is retiring.
I don't believe anything Kanye West says.
Right, I feel like he's retired about
They
6 times by
don't
now.
need my music anymore. 3 days later, I got a new album coming out. All right, well,
And the thing is,
um,
Kanye, you have to watch out for the rollout.
yeah,
He
I've been a
turns
big
the
Kanye
weirdest shit
fan.
into rollouts.
I've been a big Kanye fan my whole life, which it's been a little depressing the past 10 years. Uh, but he's still great at making music, right? That's not something that we're afraid of. It's just everything else is absolutely terrible. But he's still great at making music. So if we're taking his word, which I'm not, but if we're taking his word, what a discography, right? One of
Well,
the greatest of all
I
time,
think it's the best.
the greatest hip hop discography of all time.
I think Kanye, if you his songs he's featured on, and records he's produced, I think it's the greatest hip hop discography of all time,
I could agree with that.
personally. Because like when I think of who has the best discography, I think of it in versus format, like 20 versus 20, who wins, and I don't think anybody in the hip hop space beats Kanye.
I think
I don't.
we did that ourselves. You did
I think we
you
did
had
Kanye versus Drake, and
yeah.
I was Drake, you were Kanye, and I just felt like I lost so bad. And
Got
at that, and
clean them up.
yeah, that
But
was
there's a
before I got married, so that was 2 years ago.
I think it might have been more than 2 years ago. But anyways,
The reason we did it the day that you were playing music for my wedding, so we were putting the playlist together. So it was before I got married.
and naturally we got sidetracked.
Yeah,
Uh,
we probably didn't do shit. I'm telling you.
um,
That was, yeah,
but
that was going on 3 years ago. Yeah.
I think that we learned when we did that is that Kanye has a way of making music that just sounds timeless. Like there's so much soul into it.
Oh yeah.
And when we did the verses, you could feel it with every song that came on. And I think that that's a difference. That's not
Yeah.
pop music.
I now that man, yeah, I'm trying to think who would even have a shot. I not that I think that it would be not that I think that he would win. I would like to see a Kanye Wayne to see because Wayne has the feature bag.
Yeah. I think Drake has the second best discography of all time in hip hop, probably.
Mm,
In a versus competition, let me clarify.
maybe. I would have to
And
I would like Wayne's up there for me. I would have to see Drake Wayne.
this is strictly a versus level type competition. Drake has songs better suited to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to see Drake Wayne to see how it really stands
Don't worry, we could do
because
that. We'll figure it out.
yeah, because Wayne has like a duffel bag boy in the tuck. That's difficult, and
That's a because that
that's not
creeps up
even
on you. That's one of the
yeah.
ones that creep up on you.
Like once you hear new player circle, you're like, oh shit, like what am I supposed to do with that?
What was that
Um,
Destiny's Child song you hit me with that did that to me that I
oh,
almost forgot?
say my name.
It's
It's like
it's one of those. It's just
Beyonce
like
versus Rihanna. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Then say my name comes on, and you're like, oh
and
shit.
I almost collapsed.
Like because there do be songs you forget about, but that's the same for Kanye. Like there's some records that like overnight celebrity
Yeah, like you
that
forget
comes
he's even
on.
on there. It's like, oh shit.
What?
It comes on at 20. It's like, all right.
That might be the and we'll get into our favorite intros, but like that might be the craziest round one that you could do is overnight
Yeah, no.
celebrity twista.
It's just like, well, I lost. All right.
I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Quickly get an emergency phone call. Oh shit, I gotta go. That's crazy.
What
Uh,
it's no, you don't want the problems.
so Kanye retiring, not buying it,
No, never that.
not buying it.
I think he's too obsessed with himself to disappear.
Ooh, I'm clipping that. Um, yeah, so we can get to. I mean, look, I really want to limit our Eminem coverage
All right.
because that's a
Eminem. Big M.
big M. Like either here's one thing: I'm either not gonna talk about Eminem or I'm just gonna like pretend like I like him, and because those fans on the internet are ruthless. And I'm not trying to get to the whole spiel of it, but Eminem's announced his Death of Slim Shady coming out this Friday.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh and it is a was it 19 track song? 19 track album. Guilty Conscience 2 is on there. I don't know
Guilty
if you saw
conscience is
that.
my shit.
I don't know if you saw that.
Um,
Hidden features. So
I'm in
no
fear.
features aren't listed.
It'd be weird if Dr. Dre wasn't on there, but I'm in fear.
I just want to point out that he has a song called Antichrist, a song called Lucifer, and a song called Evil.
And they're like three in a row, basically. There's a skit in the
there's a
middle.
skit in the middle.
So that seems like a real dark portion of it. I'm gonna have my incense blowing, get rid of some negative energy. No, I mean, I'm gonna listen to it. I want to be clear. As much M hate as I've gotten off recently, what was it? The Baby Trong song that came out
What'd you
with
think
him,
about that
Baby
one?
Tron, Big
What'd you
Sean.
think about that one?
I'm not mad at it. It's not like single worthy to me, but I'm
But
not mad.
it was interesting.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
I would say that that's too much enunciation for hip hop
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Toby Monk, why you grab it by a spider? Like that's too much. That's too much enunciation for
And
me.
it let me know why I'm not such a huge fan of Big Sean. I just don't like the way
But
he enunciates
that's
things.
Detroit, That's
I
what they
know.
do.
Maybe I don't like Detroit music that much. Don't attack me. I don't know.
Don't attack me.
But I don't know. Maybe you know what? I don't want to say that. I think it's Big Sean's voice I'm not a fan of.
You have not liked Big Sean for a long time.
But I used to be a huge Big Sean fan. I don't know what happened. After Detroit came out, everything
I
went downhill for me.
remember years back, we went to go pick up, I think, tacos. And
Hmm.
we were like waiting, and I was talking about I was like, yo, Big Sean has a crazy, like underrated feature bag. And then I don't remember what you said, but you basically were like, man, fuck Big Sean. Like just like it's right on brand for you. But I
I'm
felt
at
like it was a little unnecessary.
I'm a natural born hater. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't know what you want from me.
That's the
But
title of
no,
this episode, Natural Born Hater.
yeah, nah, I was born. I was came out the womb hating this ugly ass doctor out my face. But it is what it is, right? I'm gonna listen to an M album. M's a legend. I don't have a lot of confidence going in, which is sometimes good. No
No,
expectations.
low expectations. That'd be the one.
I would love to come on here next week and say, you know what? I'm surprised. It's a good album. I would love it. I don't have confidence it's gonna happen, but I'm hoping for it.
I gotta say, if I can nominate what I think is gonna be the worst song in this album, "Brand New Dance" seems like
Oh no,
that is
that's got to be the
not what
one,
I want.
right? That's got to be the one.
That I'm hoping that there's some wordplay there and it's something different. But if this is a dance record,
Because you know M's done that in the past and it's been trash. I'm gonna nominate, and this is me being optimistic, right? I'm hoping Houdini's the worst song on this album because I hate that song.
you haven't came around.
No, not at all. Not even a
No.
little bit.
Um, I do think so. I thought Houdini, out of all his recent releases, I thought Houdini was. I didn't like the record, but I thought it was in the better direction than the other ones. But the Baby Tron record, I think that's his best song he's put out in a long time. But I still don't even. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
It's cool.
I'm
It's
trying.
cool.
I'm trying.
I'm
Uh,
just not a fan of the fast rapping with nothing to say. It's not that cool to me.
rapping about being good at rapping is not fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, get your bars off, but like when I gotta hear this at times three speed of you saying I'm better than everybody, blah, 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 I'm over it. It's okay, bro. Move on. Um,
Yeah. And he's
we'll see.
dissing Melly Mel.
Like, leave Melly Mel alone. Like,
Melly Mel's 97 fucking years old.
he'll still slap the shit out of you, but
Now Melly Mel been in the gym, fam.
why are you this big at this age, big dog? Like, what are you
Uh
trying to accomplish?
no. Yeah, no. So here we'll close it. I hope it's the best album I've ever heard.
We're being optimistic.
I
I'm with it.
hope it's the best album I've ever heard and it transcends the music and the genre.
I'm
I hope.
expecting it to be the worst album of 2024, but I
If
hope it's
it's
the best album
not,
ever.
we won. We
Hey,
won.
if it's in a top five this year album, I'm overly joyed.
And then
That's
pack it up and go home.
yeah, no, and then stop. I
Like
don't want no deluxes.
no deluxe.
It's like, bro, if you throw your fish in the water and come with something, all right. Don't put that thing in don't put that line in the water again. Leave it alone. It's over with.
No deluxes is crazy. I don't want a deluxe. I don't want an expansion. I don't want.
Leave me alone after this.
All right. Speaking of albums, and we are talking about good intros. Let's get into this. Let's get into your favorite 5 intros of all time. I was super excited to make this. I feel like my list came together pretty quickly.
Mhm.
I think I know we got one. I know we share one. I know we share one because we have to share one.
I don't know. I don't
Uh,
know. We're gonna see.
give
Let me know if it's well, I guess we'll see after
yeah,
we get
give me your top 5 intro songs on albums. What you got?
I want to know if this is a surprise to you. I got Tuscan Leather. Drake,
Ooh,
nothing was the same at five.
okay. So I'm gonna redo. So I have one that maybe a little. I'm gonna put it to match it. Okay.
Okay.
We'll just go back and forth. Five, five, five,
Okay.
five. We'll do it like that. Okay. So um, you got Tuscan Leather.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite 40 beats, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Hard.
My 5, I got Legend off of
Okay.
if you're reading this is too
Okay.
late.
I'm not mad at that. Not my favorite, but I'm not mad at that. Tuscan Leather is my favorite Drake intro, and that's it.
Yep.
So at 4, I got The Rule Is Back. Jay-Z on the Blueprint.
Ooh.
Nasty.
Okay.
Nasty.
I'm gonna match vibes here. I got so you want to talk about Jay-Z? I got No Church in the Wild
Okay.
off of
Okay.
Watch the Throne.
I'm not mad at it.
Let's go. What you got for 4? Or we
Three,
got 3, sorry.
three, I assume is the one you're referring to. I got Dreams and Nightmares by Meek.
I got Dreams and Nightmares by me.
Okay.
Probably should be my one, but I'm matching vibes.
Okay. I got a
No.
solidified one that has never been beaten.
Oh, ooh. Okay. what you got for two?
Rough Riders Anthem.
Oh my
Because why
God.
are you starting an album off like that?
I sold. I didn't even remember that.
Because why are you doing that? I just need to know. Like,
Yo,
what? Why am I starting this album with anxiety?
yo, my list just got so dumb. So I got fuck me. Dude, I suck at this game. So two, I got Kids See Ghost off of Kids See Ghost.
What
That's a
the
good
fuck?
no, I'm sorry, I got Feel the Love off of Kids See Ghost.
No, push you went crazy.
No,
Oh
like
no.
that's
Oh, when you hear my one, you're gonna slap yourself in the face.
I like my one. So I'll tell my one since yours is so since this is very climactic,
Mhm.
I'll say this. I got Ambitions of a Rider, Tupac.
That's my one. Okay,
Okay,
we're,
let's
we're
go.
okay.
Let's go.
That's my one that would never fall off because why? Who does
Yeah.
this? And
Yeah.
I just wish I was like in my teenage years when that album came out, and I just heard I can't like what is happening?
No, no, that's right. Dude, I sold, bro. I fucking had you have Rough Riders Anthem. I
You
had
said
Feel the
Kids See
Love.
Ghosts,
I
and I
had Feel
wanted,
the Love.
which is crazy. I get it, but I do have Push a T song in my honorable mentions. But
Oh,
um,
do you have If You Know You Know?
yes,
Oh, yep.
honorable mention, just because. Once again, I like when I listen to an album and why'd you start like this? Relax, calm down.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, and I feel like we were kind of in the same direction. Just for one, Drake. If you're reading this too late, is I go back and forth with that being my favorite or Nothing Was the Same being my favorite. It flopped,
Hmm.
but being from we talk about being from the South, being from Texas, Houston, how we take in our music is kind of a little different. In Houston, our music is specifically judged on does it play in the car.
Yeah,
That's how it's judged. And when Legend comes on in the car, it's
it's insane.
just
It's insanity. I get it.
it's a vibe. Tuscan Leather, to your point, better song overall, better beat,
Hmm.
but just Legend, how it starts off, it's just never gonna get old in my opinion. Um, shit, and then let's close out music with this conversation. I thought this was pretty cool. I wanted to kind of see where your brain's at. Mount Rushmore. So four of your favorite producers.
Okay.
Um,
Are we talking
just
all time or currently?
just however you want to do it. If you want to do it currently, you could do it currently. If you want to do all time, you could do it all time. I did mine all time, and it's obviously based off of how I take in music, right?
Okay. Give
So
me give me yours since we're not gonna.
I'm gonna run off my four, right? This is in no order because fuck that.
Yes, that's impossible.
This is just
I'm with you.
on the Mount Rushmore. I'm a sample guy. How
Hmm.
I like my beats, how I take in my music, I'm a sample guy. So The Alchemist has got to be on there.
Okay.
I think he is the GOAT when it comes to sampling, right? Now, who can take those samples and then make transcendent music with it? I got Kanye on my
Hmm.
Mount Rushmore because he samples, but he makes. We talked about the timeless music with
Yeah.
with the samples. Um, I got Timbaland on my Mount Rushmore. He creates bops that I think is just unmatched in history.
Hmm.
We talk about Dirt Off Your Shoulder, Jay Z. We talk about Potion, Ludacris. Just
He just makes such a unique sound.
yeah, it's just bops and like I'm a Timberlake fan. What he did for, I mean, he is a big reason why Timberlake blew up like he did. Because he stopped making music with Timberland, and then Timberlake just once he stopped
Yeah.
once he
If
stopped getting his beats from Timberland.
now he's getting
Um,
DUIs. That's crazy.
dude's been going nuts, dude. Dude, he left the cookout a little too saucy, didn't he?
Super saucy. You
And
can see it in
then
his face.
due to recent just domination, I got Metro on my Mount
Say
Rushmore.
Metro would fall into my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, so
Um,
Metro Boomin, Kanye, Timbaland, and The Alchemist. That would be my Mount Rushmore.
so my Mount Rushmore is probably the exact same. Only difference is I'm trading out Alchemist for Drake.
Yeah, I
I
like it.
don't think Drake can be defeated.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. Um, Let me ask you a question. I I think it's a little shocking. This might be hate. It's a little shocking.
I like some good hate. Let's go.
I hmm, I'm gonna choose my words carefully. I don't want to just straight up say it. Pharrell's not really close to my Mount Rushmore.
Really? Why is
He's
that?
I just prefer different sounds more. Like
Hmm.
I do like the uniqueness of it, but when I so many different names came across my Mount Rushmore before Pharrell. And like I was thinking of Just Blaze before Pharrell. Like it's I don't know. I don't know if
I
it's
think
just me.
he's a solid honorable mention, but I get it. I
Just
think that
the instrumentation that he uses. It's like,
not up your alley.
no, not
I get
really.
it. I get it. It's all personal preference.
I swear I'm not hating.
I mean, he might be, but it's cool.
But man, we got it's basketball time.
That's what I like to hear. It's that time.
And we talked about DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan traded to the Kings. Didn't see that one coming.
I don't think anybody did, which I like it for the Kings. I think it's a solid move.
The
I
wrong
just
Bulls player. I thought they were gonna get Zach LaVine. They got DeMar
that's
DeRozan.
that's what I would have thought. And just to clarify, Sacramento is North California. I had to do some research because
Okay.
I was like, where the hell is Sacramento? I
Shit's
wanted to
in
clarify.
Alaska.
Basically. But I mean, how does this make them better? So I think it's a great talent to add on. Does concern me just because DeMar is very limited as a player. He's great at what he does, but he's still somewhat limited. And I feel like him, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox all have the same. Obviously, probably Sabonis is a little different, but they all shoot inside. So it seems like
I
a
think
itchy block of pain.
De'Aaron Fox is definitely serviceable from three. He's
Okay.
serviceable. I wouldn't say but he is a driver. To your point.
Yeah.
Um, no, I think we talked about Paul George going to the Sixers and saying you initially swapped out Tobias Harris for Paul George. They essentially swapped out Harrison Barnes for DeMar DeRozan.
That's a huge upgrade.
Huge.
So
Um,
I'm not mad
what
at it.
and we talked about DeMar DeRozan being one of the better clutch players in the league.
Hmm.
He gives you fourth quarter production. We talked about him potentially going to the Lakers, saying the Lakers can use anybody in the league can use fourth quarter clutch play, like a guy that's going to play his best basketball when the game is on the line late in games, right? Um, what DeMar DeRozan does from a playmaking standpoint, I feel like is underrated.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, especially with the injuries to Zach LaVine in Chicago, DeMar DeRozan was point forward
Hmm.
and was good at it. I think once you get to a situation where De'Aaron Fox doesn't have to be so ball dominant, Sabonis, whatever you think about him defensively, offensively, Sabonis is one of the most talented big men in the league, if not the most talented when it comes
Hmm.
to just overall offensive game.
I put
He's a triple
yeah,
double monster.
top five.
Yeah, he's the one of the best rebounders.
Hmm.
He's one of if not the best passer at big man beside behind Jokic. Um, so you got that. You got De'Aaron Fox. You got Keegan Murray, who's a 3-and-D guy, and
Hmm.
then you got DeRozan. I think it takes them from a play-in team, which is what they were last year, to being a playoff team.
Yeah.
Like I think you're flirting with the 7-6 seed.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I feel like teams are a little more balanced than they've been in the past. Both conferences are also got a lot of strong teams. I mean, I think this is a pretty well balanced league that we're about to walk into, which is exciting. That's what makes the league fun.
yeah, I think the West. We're back to the conversation that we've had many years ago, which is the West is so strong and the East is weak.
I don't know if
Um,
it's weak though. I don't know if I
the
agree with
East
that.
isn't weak. The East is top heavy. Like
Okay.
the East
Okay.
has about four teams that are crazy,
Yeah.
And then everybody else is kind of like good to average, where the West is just like a consistent,
Yeah.
like
Like the top 10 can make the playoffs easy.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the East, like your top four teams can win the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the West is there's more balanced teams to what you're to your point.
I got you.
Um and well, I mean we can since we're on that conversation, we can straight up get into it. Way too early after post free agency, post all the moves. Way
Okay.
too early standing predictions. I did top 10 because that's who goes to the play in and the
Because you,
playoffs, and
okay.
everyone else doesn't fucking matter. Um, I'll say this for the West, I have the same top 10 as last year. Is my same top 10 this year. Obviously, the seeding's different, but the teams are there.
Hmm.
I don't see anybody dropping out of that top 10, and I don't see any of the bottom five moving up. I think Houston has the best shot in the West,
Yeah.
but you're talking about Houston would have to overperform the Clippers, which I think is possible.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna give you my 10-1. Okay.
I'm about to say, yeah, because
I
Clippers
got
finished fourth last. Well,
yeah. No Paul George. They've made very little moves. They've brought in role players, re-signed James Harden, and they have Kawhi Leonard. Due to the unpredictability of James Harden and Kawhi's availability, I got Clippers at 10.
okay.
Right?
And for heads up, Kawhi just dropped out of the USA Olympics team. They put
When?
Derek White. They like 2 seconds ago. They put Derek White instead.
Breaking. We got breaking news. We got breaking news. Break it.
Talk talk
Repeat it.
talk about
Repeat it.
talk about unreliability. Kawhi is out of the Olympics. Derek White has stepped in to fill his spot. Um, Kawhi doesn't like basketball. Like, let's have a full conversation
We
about it.
just a couple pods ago, we just talked about motherfucker shouldn't be there.
Yeah, no,
The
well, he's
dude
not.
shouldn't be there.
He got there and saw the camaraderie and saw everybody like being friendly. He's like, nah, call Derek White. Bring his
Did
big ass
he
forehead over here.
call Derek White is crazy. Did is it for injury? Is it because of injury, or did he just drop out just cause?
I believe it's injury related.
So I got the Clippers at 10, right? And um I got Golden State at 9. Um Steph getting older, Draymond getting older, and you got Buddy
Mhm.
Hield. They do have some young pieces that I think performed well last year, but I got Golden State at 9. I got the Lakers at 8. What do you like? It's the
I
same
don't.
team. It's the same team as last year.
Yeah, it might be a little worse, but I get you.
I got Lakers at 8. Um, I got the Pelicans at 7. I got them taking a decent step forward. DeJounte Murray, even if you keep Brandon Ingram, I still feel like he's a good piece. Yeah, you got Zion. They have great defenders, Herbert Jones. Let's see what happens, right? I got the Kings at 6. So here we go. We talked about it. DeMar DeRozan. I got the Kings at
Hmm.
6. I think they take a big step forward. Really, no reason why they shouldn't be a really good regular season team. 5, I got the Phoenix Suns just because so much talent. Devin Booker is getting better, stepping into the elite category, and Kevin Durant still Kevin Durant for the time being. 4, I got Mavericks. I think Mavericks have always kind of been on and off in the regular season. I think they'll win enough games to get them at the 4 spot. Luca might take more games off this year to sort of preserve himself for the playoff run.
Yeah.
Kyrie always misses a handful of games. Now you got Clay, who hasn't been the healthiest. So I could see them playing a lot of games without some players to where you take a little step back and they stay at 4. I think that's where they finished last year, if I'm not mistaken.
They finished 5.
Oh, they finished 5. Okay, so I got them moving up a little bit. All right, so
Yeah.
3, I got Denver. 3, 2, and 1 can really be anybody, so I'm not gonna spend too much
Yeah.
time on it.
Yeah.
Denver,
Absolutely.
Oklahoma City, Minnesota. Minnesota
I got
finishing
you.
at 1.
I think those three. I think that's your top three, no matter what. It's a
Absolutely.
matter of how they finish.
Yep.
I got Golden State out. I got the Rockets at 10. Bias,
Why not?
maybe.
Why not? I mean, they're only 5 games off
And I
last
think
year.
that Houston's improving while Golden State's there's two different sides, right? Houston's so young, them getting older is a good thing. Golden State getting older is a bad thing.
Ooh.
So I think that that's where you'll see start to see that difference this year. Um, Golden State didn't do a whole lot, to be honest with you. Let me see it. 9. This is where it gets tough, right? I might say the Lakers. If that, I think the Lakers have taken a huge step back. I think they're getting older. I think whenever you have a moment where your biggest star says, "Hey, I'll take a pay cut if you can find me somebody," and you find absolutely nobody,
Nothing.
and he's like, "All right, well, give me all the
I'll
money then."
draft your son.
Yeah, like it's I don't love LeBron finishing his career in LA, considering how disorganized that franchise is, but here we are. It is what it is. At 8, I'm gonna say, ooh, Memphis.
Ooh.
I almost forgot about Memphis. Yeah, I'll put Memphis at 8. I don't know if how confident I feel in that, but I'm gonna put Memphis at 8. 7, Pelicans, probably no, I'm gonna do Phoenix. Let's do Phoenix at 7.
Phoenix at 7.
Then I got Pelicans at 6. I got hmm. All right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put the Clippers at 5 because I have a strong belief that they're gunning for Zach LaVine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I think if they make that move, they definitely finish within that top 5, 6 maybe.
I like Zach LaVine of the Clippers.
I love Zach LaVine. I've been talking about it for a while now. Now the Zach LaVine news has gotten quiet, but we know he's on the move. So that's my prediction. Then I mean, like I said, you start getting into those
Denver,
bottom 4
Dallas.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Denver, Dallas, Minnesota, OKC. I don't know if that's
It
gonna
just
finish.
does not matter.
I expect Dallas to finish at 4, and then the rest of 3, whatever. But that's my bottom 4 for the West.
Yeah. I'll run through my East. So the interesting thing about the East, if you're looking at it from the bottom to the top, right? I think the last two play-in spots, it's kind of wide open if you
Yeah,
think about it, because
Chicago's gone.
yeah, Chicago is not making the playoffs next year.
Not even
So
close. Yeah,
they're falling out. So you have the bottom spot. I think the Hawks have the best shot to staying there. I don't think the
correct.
Hawks move up. I think they stay. I have them at 9, but my 10 spot, it's interesting.
I know who I
So,
got. Hot take, hot take.
okay, we'll see where we're going. So I think Toronto's got a shot.
Agreed.
I think Toronto's got a shot because let's take a look at just like what are your pieces of. So you got Scotty Barnes, and then you got Emmanuel Quickly, who's getting better. I think RJ Barrett surprisingly was very good when he got traded to Toronto. I think you got pieces to make a case. But this is my hot take, right?
See, we got the same one.
I'm probably we probably don't. I'm probably way crazy. I think the Hornets got a shot.
That's mine.
Let's go. Look, you re-sign Miles Bridges, who's a 20-point
hmm
bucket. You got Brandon Miller, who was a great rookie last year. If it wasn't for Wemby, probably wins Rookie of the Year,
Yeah.
right? LaMelo Ball, if he stays healthy, big if, we all know that's basketball. That's
Give me
basketball.
55 to 60 games, LaMelo, and I'm sold.
You're talking about a big three, and then you got Mark Williams defensively, who's
hmm
a really good rim protector. That's pieces, man. And all you got to do is win 38 games, dude. Like you have to win 38, 40 games to
We're
make the
not asking a
play-in.
lot here. Just
Uh, some of those.
I think it's doable.
So
I got Charlotte at 10.
okay. So I wrote in the Raptors, but I think because I think they might be a little bit more coached better, stuff like that. But I got Raptors at 10, Hawks at 9, Heat at 8, Cleveland at 7, Pacers at 6, Magic at 5, Bucks at 4, Knicks at 3, Boston at 2, 76ers at 1.
Mm.
Um,
Mine's not too far off.
yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter at that point. It's just about what your bracket looks like at the end of the year. I think the 76ers, I think even with Boston being who Boston is, I think the 76ers now have the best. I think they have the best shot, right? As I look at it, because not only is it the big three or however you do it, I think their pieces are
Yeah.
underrated. Eric
They built
Gordon,
really well.
Kelly Oubre, like that's a squad. I think the Knicks have a sneaky chance to win win the East next. Like, did we talk about just those Boston, Philly, New York. Those three teams are so insanely loaded. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this before.
Yeah. Like Milwaukee's almost like an afterthought after them, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and obviously it's so easy to leave them. But even knowing what we know about Milwaukee, even fully healthy, just stack those rosters together. Milwaukee's a great team, but
Yeah.
they're not stacked like those teams are.
Hmm.
That's like the Knicks have Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo. Like
Hmm.
the teams are fucking crazy, bro.
The Knicks are just, but the part I like about the Knicks is their stuff with guys who just do whatever it takes to win, which is a lot to ask. I think Boston's kind of built like that, but you still have guys who are just they're not going to be as scrappy as these guys are. That is the scrappiest team I've ever seen in my life is the Knicks,
Yep. No, you're
and he has the
spot
right
on.
person coaching them.
Dude,
Play 50 minutes. I don't give a fuck.
you talk about I mean us Rockets fans, it's easy for us to remember. Uh remember Mike D'Antoni's system
Oh yeah,
for Phoenix and then for Houston? Like they built the team with guys that fit that system, fit that coach.
correct.
The Knicks are doing that with Thibodeau. They're doing
I
that. Like,
I think it's the right logic. Thibodeau's crazy and he wants to make you play every minute in the world. But guess what? I got a nice young roster of guys who stay healthy and are willing to do that. So this is perfect. So I'm excited to see what the Knicks are going to do next year. Everything's barring health, obviously. It's the only reason why I had the Sixers at 3 or
ooh,
4, just because I don't expect Embiid or Paul George to play much more than 60 games.
I think yeah, I
I
think
think if
we
you
could
get
get
60
to
plus out of them, you're happy.
we're gonna get to some scenarios where teams kind of know, hey, we're going to make the playoffs, and I think we've seen it with the Miami Heat for a few years now, where they're just like, hey, let's just make the playoffs. You're gonna play good teams no matter what in the playoffs. Let's just make it. Let's not worry too much about seeding. Let's just make it, and then let's just play our asses off when we get there. And that's how you saw the Heat get to the finals.
Yeah.
Is entering in little low and then fucking popping off. I think teams are going to take more of that approach, which sucks for the fans. But hey, it's about being as healthy as you can.
It's not a bad
Be
logic though,
yeah.
because
So,
they're healthy and energized at the right time.
so with all that being said, and we talked about our standings. Who are some teams that you think still need to make a move this offseason in order to be a legit contender?
Well, we talked about it, Clippers.
Clippers,
Um,
yeah, they're
I
definitely on my
think
list.
I think Clippers is number one on that list. I don't think they'll be contending regardless, but I'll say the Lakers, just because the lack of moves they've made after publicly saying they want to make a move and done absolutely nothing. Um, you got to try to do something there.
Yep.
Um, Milwaukee's on my list. I think the East has gotten
Ooh.
so strong that you obviously don't need a superstar, right? But I think that you need to fill your roster a little stronger because of how strong everybody else has gotten. There's still some guys you can get that done with, but you got to do a little something there.
Yeah, I Clippers and Lakers for obvious reasons. Um I said it last pod, don't need to really harp on it too much. Clippers losing Paul George, I think just really threw a wrench in their plan. I think they had every intention on bringing back PG, Harden, and Kawhi. I think that was the goal, and then we'll run it back and see what happens. I think them losing Paul George, like, oh shit, now we just have Kawhi and Harden. That's not getting
Hmm.
it done. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I know there's a lot of Kawhi lovers out there. I don't think there's any James Harden fans out there. It's just us. I think we're on an island. Those two guys are not getting it done. So a move needs to happen. You mentioned Zach Levine. I've never really thought about that. Love that, honestly.
I think it
Um,
fits in seamlessly.
Lakers for obvious reasons. I am going to lose my fucking mind when we get to All-Star break. Lakers are 4 games under 500 and they're saying this roster is not good enough. We've known this for so long.
And I hope they don't put that on JJ Redick. That's my only hope
No,
because
yeah, it's going to be
this has not been a winning roster since the year they won. Basically, when they made all those moves, they fucked up when they did that.
fam.
So it's deal with what you got to deal with now.
Like you're gonna run it back with. I mean, LeBron James is one of the goats for sure, but he's 54 fucking years old. And
Yeah.
then Anthony Davis, surprisingly healthy year last year, but
And
you're
that
running
wasn't
it.
enough.
Yeah, and you're running it back with the exact same team that didn't get it done, plus a Dalton Connect. And you got D'Angelo Russell, who you were hoping was probably gonna, you were hoping he would opt out and try to get more money. He opted in, and you're like, oh shit. So you got to try to move him somehow. But
Hey
it
man, you got Bronny James. Just consider that.
Bronny James. Oh my god, that's another hate fan base I tapped into with my clips is the Bronny James haters.
It's like, why y'all dislike this man so
It's
much?
so well. The issue is there's a strong group on the internet that hate LeBron,
Of
and
course.
now they're going after his kid, which I think is
Gen-
uber weird. But
Generational hate is inspiring, but it's still much. A little
and
bit
then
much.
they try to disguise their hate as like, oh, the dude's not healthy, he's got a heart condition. Like, bro, you do not give a fuck. You just want a reason to say the dude's gonna be bad because you're mediocre at life. Like that's all it
Which
is.
I thought it was funny that people are like, "Oh, he got this huge guarantee contract, round 55," and then you see the news that round 45, Jamal Shed got basically the same exact thing, and nobody said a single word.
No, you can't. You gotta tunnel vision, tunnel vision. You
Yeah,
gotta you can't acknowledge that shit. But another team I think it needs to make a move, the Atlanta Hawks.
yeah.
What are you doing? Like,
I I mean, they have no hope of contending. I think they blundered the draft. That's my. I mean, I hope Shire is decent. But I think they blundered that by not taking Alex Sarr. You got rid of one piece. I almost feel like you should try to move Trey Young at this point and try and commit to the rebuild. But right now it seems like they're gonna like, all right, we're gonna compete. It's like, no, we know being a mid-level team is the worst thing you could be in this league.
yep.
It's either you got to commit to a rebuild or contend. That's your options. You can't contend. We know this for a fact. So if I'm the Hawks, I'm gonna try to copy the OKC route, copy the Rockets route, trade my big player, get some pieces, and start building something. We've seen that work so many times. You can build through the draft. It's the cheapest way to get it done. I'm not gonna say easiest, but it's the way you can strategize who you're trying to build. And there's some good draft classes coming up. So I would make that move now. But we'll see how that plays out. Sometimes organizations are stupid.
Yeah, you really hit it on the head there. It's being a play-in team is like the worst place you could be because
Mm-hmm.
I mean you have a chance of hitting the lottery, but you're in the back end of the lottery where you're gonna get the 15th, 14th, 13th pick. And you're not gonna win anything. So you're really holding on to Trey Young for what? Like Trey Young he's a one of the best like just natural point guards, right? Like as far
Yeah.
as guys that can not only score it but get others involved. I think he's top near the top of the league, if not at the top of the league when it comes to playmaking. And you're keeping him, paying him a lot of money to fight for a play-in spot. It's interesting. I think if a team is solidified to make the play-in, I do think it's the Hawks in the East because I mean
It's so weak,
you're fighting with the Raptors, you're fighting with the Hornets, you're fighting with the Wizards to
but
make a play in, and
it's
they
not where
are
you want to be.
right. They are the better team of the bunch, but and then maybe you're hoping to make the playoffs and then do a Cinderella story. I do like their pieces with you got Trey Young, you got Jalen Johnson, you got I mean, you had the first overall pick where I mean he's the first overall pick, so we'll see. Um, they have some decent pieces, but it's just not enough. Either you're trying to make a move to bring someone to Atlanta. Brandon Ingram has been rumored, but the talks have stalled because they Ingram wants long term stability, and the Hawks don't want to give him that, which I get, I guess. But Brandon Ingram to the Hawks, so you have Trey Young, Ingram, Johnson, the first overall pick, risk to share. Maybe, but something needs to happen. Either you need to make a move to compete, or you need to make a move to start your rebuild because it ain't happening this year. Not with those teams in the East.
And I'm sorry, but you cannot. What I don't understand is I'm watching this Cooper Flag kid cook NBA players If I see that, I'm trying to get in these sweepstakes. I know I got a team that's crappy enough to get me in the lottery if I trade Trey Young. I'm trying to get in the sweepstakes by any means possible. This is the time. Because you got Cooper Flag, you just have guys who are coming up who look solid. No question about it, they look solid. I have to take my chance to try to get one of these guys. And I don't understand why you're holding on to a team that's clearly not going to get it done if that's what's on the table.
Yeah, you know me. I hate paying guys for no reason.
Exactly.
And you're paying a guy to win you games and to bring success. If you're not going to do that, and it might not be Trey Young's fault, it could be the system around him, it could be the pieces, whatever. Let's look at it from black and white perspective. Don't get too deep with it. If you're not winning games and you're not contending, why pay the guy a bajillion dollars?
Yeah.
You know,
It's you're wasting his time and your time.
and you're
Well,
not.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
he doesn't mind making money, but you know.
in Atlanta, I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Atlanta like the city, but I would consider it a small market team.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I mean, who's
I don't know about that, but
what free agents are they attracting?
I think
Uh,
it's a team. I think it's an organization thing versus city.
no, absolutely. It's just sometimes it's the lack of bringing in free agents kind of makes you a small market in that way,
When
you
you're not
know?
able to bring them in, it's yeah, I get
Yeah,
you.
like it really doesn't.
I think New York was that way for a while.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter the size of the city, the enjoyment of the city. It's like, yo, if you can't bring anybody in there, you small market. That's just the way it goes.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, man, we really only have one more thing on the agenda. I thought this is funny, and this is your favorite bucket getters. These are guys that might not necessarily have been superstars, but you just watch them go out there and get a bucket. Um, this one's gonna be super fun. Um, who you got on your list?
So first and foremost, we're gonna stop top five. Um, I like to utilize see these bucket getters. I know they're solid because I will get on 2K and cook anybody with
Oh
this
my
level
gosh.
78
That's
guy.
the same thought I got when I made this list. I got some names on here that I'm like, yo, you traded for this guy at some point.
Oh, 100%. No, like Terry Rozier is first on my list.
Oh yeah, scary
One of my
Terry.
favorite bucket getters because it's like I'm not doing nothing else but driving to the paint with this dude, and I'm gonna score every single time. His
It's
overall
gonna
might be like 80. I don't know.
right.
But in my world, he's 99%, 99 overall.
I love Terry
But
Rozier.
Terry Rozier, get a bucket. Don't do nothing else. I'm not mad at it.
All right, check this out. I got Terrence Ross.
Ooh, I like
Terrence
Terrence.
Ross was like in 2K was like an A plus from three, but also will dunk and will put one in your mouth. Pause. But yeah, Terrence Ross, Raptors Terrence Ross. Dude was an absolute killer. Who you
Yeah,
got next?
you got to clarify. Four, obvious. Lou Will. Come on now. What are
Hey,
we talking about?
let's take
That's
it
his
back.
that's full job is to get a bucket, and that's it. Six man of the year winner a couple times. I
Dude
like
was so lackadaisical too. Like, dude
right.
just he just his didn't have a lot of jump in his jump shot, was kind of just lazy with it, but motherfucker went in though.
Every time.
I
Three. You want to go? You want to go? Or you want me?
we'll just go back and forth.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna send you back with this one. I got Monte Ellis.
Ooh, that's old school right there.
Monte Ellis. Golden State Warriors, Dallas Mavericks, Monte Ellis. A mid-range assassin. Dude had
Hmm.
such a pretty game. Uh just snatch back, pull up mid-range jump was crazy. Um yeah, he was the splash brother before Curry. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, he was on a list of being pissed off that they were trying to give Steph Curry a little more run than him. He's like, "This is my team." Boy, did that age poorly.
Chill out, Monte.
Monte, get the
All
fuck
right.
out of here.
Who you got at three?
Three, Rockets fan, Eric Gordon, all day.
Eric Gordon is a underrated. He scored 50 on Utah like
Just
2
get a
years ago.
bucket. Just get a bucket. He would drive to the paint. He's a great shooter. He can shoot from the mid range. He's got the body on him to get over anybody. I love EG. Him going to the Sixers is a big deal in my opinion, but love EG.
In his day, an underrated driver.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he could get to the rim. People know him because of the D'Antoni system. People know him from chucking up a bunch of threes, which valid. But games where there was no Harden and he had to, back when he was with the Pelicans, he
yeah.
had to be the point guard. Boy gets to the rim. I got a crazy one for you.
What you
Ben
got?
Gordon.
Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon was great,
S- Ooh,
dude.
Speaking of the Pelicans, before the Pelicans.
Dude, like Ben Gordon was nasty, bro.
Hmm.
He, I mean, career 40% from three.
That's crazy.
Insane. I think he's like 43% from the field, 40% from three. Like when you almost match, like,
That's
and that was
pretty
back
insane.
before they were chunking up a hell of a lot of threes. But like when you're almost as good from three as you are from the floor, like that's crazy. I got Ben Gordon. Who you got?
At two, I got for my short kings out there, Isaiah Thomas.
Oh my God. Isaiah Thomas was a bucket.
Just legendary bucket getter. He's my height, so I'm inspired by him. Uh, Man, when you talk about somebody who put their life on the line for the Celtics and they didn't give a two shits about him,
They didn't give a fuck.
get your little ass up out of here. I think like I think his sister got in a bad accident or passed away or something like
They
that. I don't
like
know.
traded him.
And then he like went and balled out, scored 50 that same day. And then they're like, all right, well, we're gonna trade you now. I don't know who they traded for, but it happens. Welcome to the NBA. But
He was a part of the he's part of the Kyrie trade, wasn't he? Like they sent Kyrie to Cleveland and then yeah,
that's
then
right.
Isaiah Thomas went to
Which is
Cleveland.
crazy with how that panned out. That's you just disrespected the hell out of him for
Dude,
a dude
I
that
felt
was
like
there for like a year and a half.
if you look at that Cleveland team, I mean, obviously we knew it was trash, but LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Isaiah Thomas, Derrick Rose,
It
like
shouldn't
it's
have
like
been
a
bad.
fever dream.
It's like, oh man, if I got all these guys in this prime, this might be the greatest team ever. But everybody was washed.
Everybody was washed. Two, I mentioned it in my underrated player my underrated player top five from mini pods ago, but Michael Redd, man,
Hmm.
the Olympian Michael Redd. They posted a picture of that Olympics team that was like Carlos Boozer, LeBron,
Yeah.
Kobe, Dwayne Wade, and then there's like Michael Redd's there, and you're like, you forget how nice Michael Redd was.
Yeah. No, man, I saw that same picture now, and I was like, who? I saw his face and had no idea who he was. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
They
they're
said
like
Michael Red. I was like, oh, that's Michael Red.
Darren Williams was in that
Yeah, no. Why
that
are you
picture
in
too.
there? He
Carlos Boozer, yeah, Chris Bosh, like that was a
look,
squad.
Carlos Boozer, Michael Red, Darren Williams. Let's look like they didn't belong. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's
You
representative of how good they were in the moment.
they were yeah. Carlos Boozer and that baseline mid range jumper,
Yeah.
bro was crazy. All right, let's hear it.
This is what one.
One,
Come on now, Jamal Crawford all day.
that's mine too.
There we go.
Jamal
This
Crawford,
unquestionable bucket getter.
he scored
Probably.
50 off the couch with Phoenix when he was like 40.
She's like, why are you so good still? I don't
He like
understand.
he dropped 50 on like a 10-day. Like he was on like a 10-day contract. And boy just drops 50.
One of the best handles of all time in the NBA.
Effortless. And as Rockets fans who we've duked it out with the Clippers so many times, dude, when he came in the game, just completely controlled the pace of the game.
Correct.
He slowed it or sped it up to wherever he wanted it to be whenever he was on the court. And man, still doing it big. And I love him on the commentating desk too.
Yeah, yeah.
I love hearing him talk about the game. It's unbelievable. Speaking of commentating, do you remember when DeMarcus Cousins and Rajon Rondo were talking and they're like, who does the Pelicans have that can play make? And then DeMarcus Cousins goes, Herbert Jones, and then Rondo just goes and just stares into the camera. I was like, RIP, dude. Like, that's
Hey, dude.
crazy.
Sometimes you got to speak the truth to people. That's all.
He just went,
But I like a good like the office stare at the camera moment.
yeah.
That brings joy to
Sometimes,
my heart.
sometimes you don't need to say shit. Sometimes you just got to give someone a good.
Just look at the camera. Let the silence speak for itself.
Yeah, no, the week has been interesting with the Bronny James hate that I've been getting. All I said was like shit's weird that we're caring so much about a second round pick. And then
Yeah.
people just are bothered.
No, it's a generational hate. That's all it is. But we got
Yeah.
summer league here. Summer league started.
Yep.
Bronny James didn't do too hot first game. The haters love that.
Oh, that's
Uh,
just what they need. That's what
yeah,
they need.
no. But it really gets started this week. I'm excited to watch some basketball. Zach Edey had a solid game.
He hooped. He hooped.
That's he's been consistently solid, but we have this bad taste in our mouth with guys who are big men that are a little slow in college because they just don't typically pan out in the NBA. No shocker, typically injury history, our injuries become an issue. But that he's been solid at Purdue for 4 years.
The best arguably the best college basketball player ever if you look at the stats and everything. Like dude's a
Yeah, no, he's
fucking
solid.
monster.
So I like to see him. I like to see him with Memphis. I really like Zach Edey, but we'll see how it pans out because history's not on his side when it comes to how these dudes usually pan out.
Yeah, and I feel the exact same way. The big man
Yeah,
that just not athletic, a little slow. Only thing is he has a good gas tank, which I do enjoy because some of
yeah.
these big guys, they come out of college playing 18 minutes a game. I'm like, you
Hmm.
supposed to get to the NBA and play more than that?
Yeah, play 30. So it's a faster pace game. Now I need you to play 30 minutes a game, almost double what you're playing. It doesn't typically work out, but I don't know. It'd be interesting. I want Zach Edey to be good. I like his fit in Memphis. I like him as a player. He's a winner. But like I said, history's not on his side, so we'll see. Summer League should be fun though. We got the main kickoff this week.
Yeah. I last comment on Zach Edey. I enjoy in a arguably, we don't know yet, but in a weaker draft class, I love taking the shot and being like, let's take the best statistical player in this
Hmm.
draft and hoping it translates.
Yeah,
What
you
else?
gotta
Like,
take
why
it.
not? I thought the
And
Lakers would
plus,
do something like that, but the
I
Grizzlies
mean,
did.
Dalton Connect is not a bad option for the Lakers. I thought they made a great pick.
You're just asking for what they need. You're asking a lot out of Dalton Connect.
I know, but if you when you draft for that spot, that's probably your best option to take. I don't think it's going to pan out super well, just for what their long term goal is. But
Yeah, I don't think the Lakers had on their wish board, their objective board. I don't think they said bring back D'Angelo Russell, draft Dalton Connect and Brownie James. Check. We're good
and
to go.
hopefully Dalton Connect is a superstar from the jump.
Is hopefully he could be like a Franz Wagner. Like
Yeah, that's what you
like
need from basically.
Speaking of Wagner, bro, just got like 200 M's, which is crazy.
Which, as a Rockets fan, is not the greatest feeling in the world.
We'll see,
So
man. We'll see. We'll have a Rockets segment and we'll talk about the Rockets because they're going to be a topic of conversation is just for league news at some point
yeah.
because there's going to be some extensions, there's going to be some not extensions, there's going to be some trades.
Oh, y'all
Uh
are definitely gonna get a Rockets insider. If you're not interested in that, it's coming at some point. We'll do like a trigger warning. But we're gonna get geeked out about the Rockets at
I
some point.
think we've done a good job thus far kind of distancing
Avoiding it.
ourselves, but
Yeah.
there's going to be some news that pops off that's Rockets related and then you can get a 45-minute segment.
Why are they talking for 45 minutes about Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore?
Right.
They're the next superstars in the league.
Shaking the camera. All right, man. I mean, that's all we got on our agenda. Do you have any more words of wisdom before we close it out?
I did watch another episode of Clip because my wife wanted to watch it. Um, Doc Rivers, once again, stop writing. What are you doing?
Dude's
I
low key
just
producing a show.
I just want to know what's going on. The Clippers organization is
Does
ass.
the show continues on him being a hero?
No.
Okay, good.
So the last episode I watched, Doc Rivers is not even really in it. But of course, he's still a positive light there. Don't get me wrong, he's just barely in it. It just starts with old girl kind of being a little delusional, delulu, as they would say. But it's not a good show. That's the best way to put it. Terrible cast. Everybody looks like they're my size, not like actual NBA players.
The Puerto Rican Blake Griffin.
DeAndre Jordan's the weirdest character ever. Like
He's he was my favorite part about the fucking show.
when news is breaking, he's like feeding his pet iguana. I
Yeah,
was
he's
like, all
got
right,
the
bro.
iguana on his shoulder. He's the best part of the show.
Even if this is real, like, don't do my boy like this. This is crazy.
I want to know if DeAndre Jordan actually had an iguana or if this is
he,
just like
he might have, but they just made it look like that's like his love life.
no,
It's a pet iguana.
I loved the all the crazy shit's going down and DeAndre Jordan's just like I just got to rebound and catch dunks. Like that's it.
It's
I appreciate that.
probably true. It's okay. Um, yeah, but on the list of not recommended TV, clipped. Don't do that to yourself. There's
Don't
better
do
things
that.
out there.
Yeah, Chris Paul looked like he's played by Rodney Stuckey. Like,
Do you know that that actor's actually famous for playing a gay thug in P Valley?
oh, really?
So right on brand for Chris Paul, obviously.
Damn.
That was a joke. I like Chris Paul. Not
No,
because
a lot of there's a lot of fans will be into that and be like, "Oh shit, I knew it. Chris Paul's gay." Because apparently this bro said, he's like, "Man, stop, get off his Johnson." When it came to saying that Chris Paul can help develop Wimby and Castle, and I was like, "Bro, saying a veteran can help young players is being on his Johnson is crazy."
everything is glazing.
And then
Why are you not?
then he responded and said, "He's ass." And I'm like, "You got something going on in here that with Chris Paul that I don't like. I don't get it. You get it. I don't. But like, you got something in here."
I've learned arguing with people about sports is like the worst thing you can do because 90% of fans are casual fans. I thought I was a casual fan. And I started talking to other fans. I'm like, oh no, I'm a little nerdy about this.
Like,
You don't
I
get
know
it.
a little more. Yeah.
You don't get it. And that's okay. I'm gonna stop
But
talking to you because
you're
I'm
in
gonna get
it.
annoyed.
That's a really good spot. That's a really good spot to be in where you're like, you think that you're surface level, but then, but that's where you think you're at. And when you know your surface level, you can kind of get to a point where you're like, hey, I don't know too much about this, so I don't really have an opinion. It's the people that are below surface level,
I
or
think they know everything.
and they convince themselves that they fucking know everything, and it comes out to fucking they read an article or read a headline of an article at one point,
And didn't read the article,
and
just
then they're
just the
just
headline.
like, oh, I know this because I saw this at some point. It's like, bro, you don't know shit, and that's the
That's I'm
we are
telling you.
in the age of having all the shit at our disposal to learn. We know as little as we've ever fucking known.
And it's no 100%. You know, it's my favorite thing to look at from casual fans who clearly don't know anything. Trade packages. It's my favorite thing.
Dude,
No, man.
remember like the
Like,
Mikal Bridges trades?
yes,
Them
insane.
shits, they've six
To,
first round picks for Mikal
to
Bridges.
be fair, that's what they got was 6 first round picks.
They got a lot.
That was a crazy trade. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get why the Knicks did it. It's like all in or not. I get it, but that was crazy. But you see, like, man, the Lakers need to get Trey Young. Man, we can give them Rui Hamatara and a 2nd round pick. No, you can't.
You cannot.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
I've just seen so many. At some point, next pod, I'm gonna present a bunch of terrible trade packages that so we can just
Ooh,
look at
that
them.
would be a super good segment.
I
Terrible
got you.
trade packages.
I got you.
Just scour the internet of fucking terrible trade
I'm gonna
packages.
find my top 10 trade packages recently, so that way we can kind of evaluate value exactly how it should be, and we're just gonna cover it. That's
And
all.
they always say, "Who says no?" Bitch, I do. The team that's involved says no.
Adam Silver himself might actually be like, "All right, fam, like, what are y'all doing?" No,
Nah, it's fucking crazy. Between the people that don't know anything and claim they know everything, and then the people who have miserable average lives and they just hate anybody that's successful.
I mean,
Those two people, and they almost coincide, but like
yeah, no.
those two people are just like
Like
the
I love being a
worst.
hater, but I'm also realistic about what's going on. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah, like the LeBron haters are crazy, and a lot of them are Jordan fanboys, right?
Yeah,
But a lot
yeah.
of them are just like, yo, they've heard LeBron's name for the last 20 years, and they're just like, I'm sick of it. And it's like, fam, he's just good. Like, just leave it at that. It is what it is. Like when I first met you a long time ago, you were a Kobe guy. You always were a Kobe guy.
Always will be.
And Kobe
R.I.P.
guys typically are not LeBron fans, but you were just like, I like Kobe more than LeBron, but like you were always like, I can't deny LeBron. Like it's
Yeah,
just
no.
he's really good.
To be fair, I actually tried and it just didn't
It
work.
just you couldn't do it. He won you
I was like,
over.
all right, bro, relax. It was the Heat years. The Heat years is what did it. And I was like, oh, well, he's here. I get it.
Yeah, it's like the miserable people out there. They hate success. They hate. Oh, don't be famous, a famous player, and be confident. Woo!
Oh yeah.
They
What is
hate that shit.
the most recent thing is Anthony Edwards said, I'm the number one option on this Olympic team. They're gonna have to work around me. People are like, you don't deserve to say stuff like that. I want my guy that confident. I don't care.
It's basketball.
When big dog walk in the room, my guy says, yeah, I don't care. I'm still him.
At
I
the
love that.
at the end of the day, we're playing a game.
Mhm.
Basketball is a game. It's just like if you turn on your PlayStation, it's a fucking game, bro. Like, yeah, they make money. Yeah, it's a job. I completely understand it. But when you play a game, you want to be confident that you're going to win. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I
Why
don't,
is that? Why is this a problem? I
it's
don't
such
get
an
it.
issue. Like, bro, it's like,
He shouldn't be that confident. He's being delusional. Every successful person was delusional at some point in their life. I wish Jalen Green was so delusional to tell me that he's better than Steph Curry. I want to live like that. That's how I want players to be. Is it true? No. I mean, don't be wrong. If you're chucking up a bunch of shots and missing them, you might need to relax. But that's how confident you want your players. Because
no,
without that confidence, they don't end up being as good as they are.
bro, it's like, it's same thing in hip hop, you know? Like you want if you're in there to rap and you want to compete and you guys say that you're no one can touch you. That's just
Hmm.
how it goes. And like
I,
basketball same way.
and I'm biased. I tell the same story all the time. The Kanye story where he's making all these beats and everybody's telling him, hey, stop using your own beats. You're not good enough. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna start using my own beats. I'm gonna take the best beats and I'm gonna be the best in the world. Here we are 20 years later.
I'm
I
saying.
mean, that's how confident you need to be.
And
Part
this
of success is delusion.
and it's funny because the fans that criticize this shit can never do anything close to this. But it's like in the UFC and MMA. Like you got dudes that say they're the best and they talk all the shit. Bro, if you don't like the way he talks, you have an opportunity to punch him in the face and knock him out and win. And if you don't, that's on you. And it's like you fans that criticize confident players, like you're still like an assistant manager at Taco Bell.
Yeah, like
Like
it's
you won't
you're nowhere near that.
not in the same galaxy, my guy. And I
My
know I'm not either, but I'm also letting them rock. Like, yo, do your
yeah,
thing.
like I really like when professionals start doing one-on-ones with like regular people just to let them see like the reality of what they're dealing with. Because I'm sorry, but who we talk about in this top five bucket getters? Jamal Crawford right now would smoke all of you in the
At the
comments,
same
all
time,
of you,
5-on-1,
easy,
5-on-1.
with no hesitation. Like I don't think y'all understand how what the disparity is between a normal person and a professional athlete. I feel like that gets missed all the time.
Dude, that's why we lean into being the bench player podcast because it's like, bro, we give our opinions on shit like and just kind of, oh, I didn't like this move, I like this move, I didn't like this move, I like this move. And but that's it. We're never going to question anybody's like actual athletic ability or how they believe in themselves. Like y'all are losers.
These dudes, all these dudes will watch me 1,000 times over, and I know that, and I'm okay with that.